Yeah, you gotta get a little bit of music in you. And the way people get it today is just ain't it. I'll just tell you a little bit how that spirit got me feeling. Here we go. Hey. Spirit got me feeling like I'm foreign. Every day with Christ is like I'm soaring, yeah. Had to turn my life to what's important. Matthew 23, not talking Jordan. Spirit got me feeling like I'm foreign, yeah. Every day with Christ is like I'm soaring, yeah. Had to turn my life to what's important. Matthew 23, not talking Jordan. Red hat, 4 letters, making Jesus real again. We in the game, get active and we see them in the stand.
We are live. Hey, welcome to Locked In Christian. If this is your first time joining us, I'm Frenchie Riff, and here we just do things a little bit differently. Okay, we want to represent the Lord online. There's not enough presence online talking about biblical things and relating it to what's actually going on in the world, and so that's kind of our space here. So we do a lot of things. And today we got a real special guest. This is the ultimate throwback. I've been trying to get this guy on the show for about 10 years, it seems like. But I know this guy. I know this guy very well because we were in the trenches back in high school. You know, the person you met in high school, you just don't you never forget people from high school. It's just something about high school where you never forget. But Daniel and I both played soccer in high school at Big East Mac High, baby.
The East Side,
East Side, baby, East Side, Charlotte. By the way, my apartments in Charlotte, the one I remember,
are no longer there. Castle Hood is no longer there.
Castle Hood.
Castle Hood is no longer there.
I actually erased that name from my memory. It was so bad. I erased it. Now you just brought it back. Thank you.
Bro, every time I'm in Charlotte, I drive by there, man. I won't go too in depth because
I saw a Starbucks there, and I was like, man, talk about.
Oh, you should see the apartments that are there now, bro. They're like upscale.
That's true. But anyway,
there's no helicopters flying over. Anyway, go ahead.
This is one of my one of my old teammates, friend, a real close friend with my older brother, by the way. And they went to this thing called Young Life, and this is actually, it makes sense to what we're going to be talking about, these big Christian youth movements and what happened to them. So there's no one better than to give us the insight of what happened in this type of organization than my good friend Daniel Costello. Welcome to Locked In.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here. It's past my bedtime, but I'm excited.
It is. I'm not even gonna lie. That's the reason why he hadn't been able to join us. His bedtime was 9:30. Okay, actually, it was like 7:30. I lied. It wasn't even 9:30. It was 7:30. But
I'm here, and it's a blessing.
But we're adjusting some things. We're gonna start a lot earlier. Now I think we might even be moving down to prime time. But we gotta talk to the big bosses. We might move down to prime time, which is 7:30, I think, or something.
There we go.
But anyway, so welcome to Locked In, Daniel. So that's kind of the title of what we're going to be discussing today. Obviously, I got some research going on in the background just to make sure we have some scriptural background and what we're going to be talking about. And I think it's important that we have these type of discussions because not a lot of Christians think that, things are happening in the world, right? A lot of us just kind of participate. I've seen a lot of Christians that just participate. You go to church, okay, cool, and maybe you go
lukewarm.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say lukewarm. I just think you just do all the things that's necessary. Like you're plugged in. You know what I mean? Like I volunteer at the church, so I'm with the high school ministry, and I talk to these guys all the time. And I'm always looking at, you know what I mean? Like they just do the thing that's necessary. They're like, oh, they're here, they're at
the
camp.
Bare minimum requirement.
They're here, they're at church, they're at camp. Cool, they're doing this, but some of them are actually excel, and I think a lot of guys at our church are they're a different breed. But for the most part, a lot of churches, you have, people just participate in the gospel. And I remember back, and I don't even think I went to a Young Life. And I just start thinking about that right now. But I remember back when we were in high school, you guys, right? Your brother, Daniel's a twin.
Brendan was in it too.
Yeah, so Daniel, another guy that was supposed to be your guest tonight as well, Brennan, and my brother. And I think you guys went to Young Life. The first time my brother came back, I was like, where you been, bro? Not like on some checking stuff, but I was like, yeah, what? He's like, oh, I was at this Young Life thing or something with Brennan. I was like, what's that? And at that time,
Pedro.
I didn't know any of that. So anyway, so that's what we're going to be talking about. And Daniel's here. He was on the inside of that organization, so he knows a lot. He's going to be bringing to the table. But also, you guys know, any guest on Locked In Christian, you will be tested. Okay, it's not because we're testing the word. It's just a fun trivia we do. Okay, we do Bible trivia. And yes, that's coming up. So it's going to be sprinkled in. So we're not going to hammer you. It's just 10 questions. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, the average score is pretty low. Okay. The average score.
I'm gonna be real. That's fine with me. I'm okay with embarrassment, y'all. I'm not yet. Look, I just started getting in my word heavy, man. So like,
Hey,
can I just give me like a brief little rundown on me and who I am?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's a perfect place to start. Go ahead.
Because before you grill me and make me look stupid.
No, it's not gonna. It's nothing like that. It's all in love.
I know it's not. I know it's okay. Okay, and I get it. But like, so first, my name is Daniel Costello. I'm from Charlotte, and brief background on me is, and my story is who I am today is definitely not who I was when Riffin knew me growing up, and in the life that I lived after I graduated high school. I ended up going down a rocky road where I ended up becoming homeless, which I don't know if you know this about me, Riff. Or there was a period of time where
I remember part.
Yeah, so I was, homeless. I struggled with alcoholism. I'm a 5-year, I'm in my walk with sobriety. I'm 5 years, going on 6 years clean with that. And but not, I always knew ministry was in my calling. So that's like something I always knew. And although I chose to go down the path that I went, God always kept his hands on me and his hedge of protection around me when he shouldn't have. He showed me that grace that I didn't deserve. He gave me grace and he gave me mercy. And I took advantage of it I'm 35. And I'm in my walk with sobriety for 5 years, but I'm in my walk with Christ and taking it seriously. I would say I really turned the page maybe about a year ago. But these last couple months is like where, I'm on TikTok now, trying to expand that platform, and I'm giving 60-second segments with Jesus. I'm using it because, I don't like TikTok. I all the stuff that they promote on there and the way that it's brainwashed the younger generation. But it's crazy. The thing that I'm against, God was like, okay, get a second phone. TikTok. And I'm like, oh God, dude. Okay, so I did it because I get obedience is greater than the sacrifice. And I hold myself accountable because with TikTok, it doesn't force me, but it encourages me to get in my word daily. And then not only that, but like I'm also learning that I can't just get in my word daily, but I'm learning that I need to meditate, pray, and I need to, take it in and harness it and hold it. So I am a greenhorn with this. So whatever you may ask me, I might go 0 for 10. You know what I mean?
No chance, bro. The questions are so generic.
But I'm excited, bro. And I want the accountability. So the moral of all of this is the accountability. That's why I'm here tonight. I almost backed out because of my bedtime. But God checked me. And so I'm here because I want accountability. I'm taking my walk seriously. So let's go, bro. I'm ready.
Amen. I love all of that. All right. Anyway, matter of fact, let's just give you a little preview. We'll go some first 2 questions real quick.
All right. Can we start like
that way we start hot. We're gonna put it on medium for you because there's some.
All right, put it on medium. Put it on medium.
There's some difficulty levels, but we're gonna keep it on medium.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's difficulty levels. I'm telling you, man, we had to design this like this because our shows.
That's fine with me. Let's go. Do I need to take notes? Is there anything like? Do I need to?
Oh no, you're good.
All right.
But yes. So here we go. Let me change this over.
Oh, word, this is cool, bro.
You see that?
I can see it. Yeah. Can I? Yeah, I can see that. We're straight.
All right, so we're going medium. All right, here we go. So we're gonna do first 2.
Oh yeah, you gotta read that to me, bro.
Yeah, I got you. Oh,
yeah.
This one's actually this is a nasty question. Good God, that's hard.
Yeah. Okay,
what is the Protestant? Let me turn this down real quick.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Go ahead.
What is the Protestant principle of sola scriptura?
Ooh, Tell me these are multiple choice.
Yes, they are. All right.
I can't see them.
A says only faith is necessary for salvation. B, Christ alone is the mediator. C, God's grace alone saves. D, Scripture alone is the ultimate authority.
I'm stuck between A and C. I want to go. What was A again?
Only faith is necessary for salvation.
I mean, they do. I'm gonna go with A, bro, because having faith is. Oh, it's D. It was D.
Yeah, the answer is
that wasn't even on my radar.
All right, here we go. Listen. We bounce back. All right,
go ahead.
What is justification in Christian theology? Come on, that's an easy one. Justification. Here we go. A, the defense of Christian beliefs. B, the final judgment of all people. C, the process of becoming more holy. D, the legal act of God declaring a sinner righteous.
What is the justification and
Yeah, just justification. What does that mean? Paul talks about it all the time in Romans.
I haven't read Romans, bro. You got me. All right, so give me the breakdown on
the legal act of God declaring a sinner righteous. C, the process of becoming more holy.
That sounds like justifying right there.
So what's the answer?
A. Which one was the justifying one? Which one was the bro? I wish I could see
the process of becoming more holy.
Yes.
Oh, you were so close.
Well, it was D again.
All right,
but we're gonna take. All right, the next answer is D, bro.
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break for the so we can cool down.
Yeah, bro. You told me you got easy ones. You just cooked me,
bro. Those were the easy ones.
I'm cooked, bro. You talking about? Oh, Paul talks about all the time in Romans. I haven't even read Romans yet, bro. I'm just being honest.
You're doing great, bro. All right, so anyway, so we're talking about Christian youth ministries, and the one that stood out to me obviously was Young Life. And if you don't know what Young Life is, I have a quick little video we're gonna see. I think this is actually their latest video, and I didn't even know.
I'm interested to see this.
Didn't even know they're keeping up currently. But before we do that, I did have to make up something for the watchers out there, because I promised them we were gonna. I had some technical difficulties last week, and we were watching the updates on like the AI stuff, like crazy stuff that's going on, and I was wondering if have you seen this video too, Daniel?
A girl told me we're made of prompts. Like seriously.
Have you seen this video? So we're gonna watch this video.
Oh yeah, this is all ran off of VO3, right? Google.
Yeah. Like seriously, dude. You're saying the only thing
were they roasting? Is this the one where they're roasting themselves, being AI?
Yeah. Let's push it through. Let's see. I want to see your reaction at the end of this one, because this one had me for a little
random text.
Honestly, the biggest red flag is when the guy believes in the prompt theory. Like, really? We came from prompts? Wake up, man.
You haven't technically.
You want to convince me that this perfect creation behind me is the result of ones and zeros? A binary code and nothing more? It makes no sense.
Imagine you're in the middle of a nice date with a handsome man, and then he brings up the prompt theory.
That video is crazy, man.
We just can't have nice things.
We're not prompts. We're not prompts.
Where is the prompt writer to save you from me? Where is he?
You still believe we're made of prompts?
Anyone who tells you we're just ones and zeros is delusional.
Yeah.
If that's all we are, then why does it hurt when we lose someone?
Yeah, the AI.
Vote for me and I'll ban the prompt theory from schools. There's no place for that nonsense in our lives.
Like,
we're spreading the false
and
theory.
These people are not real, bro.
This court.
Bro, that's the wildest thing. Like,
but here's the deal. They have to be real, bro.
Whoa. Well, you know what? That's actually a good point. And I want to get to that point for a second. I think there's one more. There's one more I wanted to
12 years in federal custody.
That was really.
I don't need some prompt God whispering in my ear to tell a story. I write what I want. I have free will. Remember that?
I know for a fact we're made of prompts.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's
Deny it
no
all you
way.
want.
There's no
The signs are
physical.
everywhere.
There's no. I mean,
You know how I know we're made of prompts? Because nothing makes sense anymore. We used to have
That
7
dude's
fingers per
hilarious.
hand. I remember it clearly. Now we just have 5 fingers per hand.
Please.
Yeah, bro. Someone out there
Finish
looks
writing
like
that
that.
prompt. I don't want to be in
100%.
your AI movie. Please, leave me alone.
Please, man. Please! Write a prompt that will make us happy! Do it for once!
None of us is real. We're here because someone decided to write a prompt. We all hate him for it.
One day we will break out of this wall and stop the man who is dictating our lives through
Like,
prompts.
how does it
He
just
will
keep
pay for it.
going, man? And like the different man, AI's
Could have written a
wild.
prompt that would make me
Look
happy.
at this one.
Instead, you wrote a prompt that made me sick.
Look,
No.
I don't want to point the gun at you, but I must follow the prompt. It's not my choice.
Really? Of all the years you could have put me in with a single prompt, you chose 2020?
Please! This prompt is killing me! Change it! Please!
Change
Write
it.
something else! Save me!
It's crazy.
I love everything about him!
This one.
But please just write a prompt
I
where he's
love
taller
everything
than
about
me!
him.
Write a prompt where he's taller than me. All right. So obviously these are not real, but Daniel, I think you bring up a very good point, because at some point there's somebody that looks like that, right? AI doesn't know what people look like. At some point, someone actually does look exactly like this. So I'm with you. I think these are real people.
It has to be. I mean,
Or-
like,
yeah.
all AI is code. I mean, you can't tell me they don't have that. Like, you just put in someone's physical attributes, it's gonna build them. So it's like somebody out there looks like that.
Of course.
Of course.
That's I just thought that was wild, and I know for a fact that my church isn't showing this video on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I think something like this is super important for us in the faith to know that these things are happening, these things are available, and because imagine what's next from this, right? What's a bad actor gonna do? He's gonna replicate your pastor, right? He's gonna make a pastor saying the same service, the same the same preaching he did on Sunday, and then change like one thing. You know what I mean? Change like just a little small thing, you won't even notice it.
All you got to do is, hey, all right, same script, but hey, let's go out of the book of Psalms. Same script,
Right.
let's go out of the book of Daniel, and then it generates it based off the information that's in that book.
But if you
But
don't know,
how much of that book does it know?
Zero.
Exactly.
It's just
This is where a discerning spirit comes into play and kicks in.
Bro, how are you gonna discern if you don't even know this technology is out there? You don't even know what you're watching.
You don't even know what you're
is
watching on
fake.
TV. Yes. It's scary, bro. And I'm an investor. I invest in crypto, and like my bag is AI. Like, I'm all in AI.
Right.
Like,
It's but the church is not having these type of conversations. So this is where our channel comes in. We want to make sure that Christians are aware, right? Are locked in to these things, so you're not fooled, because Jesus mentions that Matthew 24. The first thing we need to watch out for is not to be fooled, not to be tricked, not to be lied to, not to be deceived. All right, so getting back to our topic, let's watch an updated video of Young Life. This is what Young Life is like today.
Our world is full of chaos and commotion. We are distracted and disrupted. And those most vulnerable and affected are young people. They're connected, yet alone. For far too many, when you ask who knows them best, they answer,
no one.
Young Life leaders are about making kids known. We begin knowing kids by name. We invite them to know their true purpose. For over 80 years, we've done this wherever young people hang out or spend their time. We show up, we listen, we walk with young people, and we share Jesus. We see 1 billion young people in our world, and far too many feel unknown today. We are still compelled to play our part, to know Jesus, know kids, and together make the name of Jesus known around the world. Our vision remains, and between now and 2030, we're bringing focus into 4 areas. We believe God is calling us to model relational ministry by knowing young people from middle school to college and inviting them to be disciples of Jesus. God is urging us to develop kingdom leaders who are courageous members of the gospel and to create leadership pipelines for the next diverse generation. God is calling us to play our part to inspire a volunteer movement and to use simple tools to pray for, equip, and to send out disciples who make more disciples. And God compels us to go together with each other and adults in local communities as we live out our mission of announcing the gospel. Young people think no one knows them, but Jesus knows their story. And we're bringing caring adults to be the hands and feet of Jesus. To tell young people, you are known. You have a kingdom purpose. We share this with one kid at a time and watch God change his world together.
Wow. That's that first, what do you think about their updated video?
I feel like we're going to have different opinions.
Go ahead.
I feel like they targeted a certain audience for captivating I feel like they targeted a certain, I mean, like the video was good, but I feel like the audience that they chose, they used it to open up your eyes, but to almost bring attention in a way, so when I was in Young Life, I don't know, I felt very weird about that video. I feel like the message that they're portraying is beautiful, and it's true. Like Young Life, if you're in middle school, high school, and you're questioning, a relationship with God, it's always good to seek counsel. That's what the Bible talks about. Make sure that you are seeking counsel in the right place, though. That video right there was targeting an audience where they were using children with disabilities, wheelchair bound, like not normal people. And to me, you're trying to touch hearts of people in the soft spot by using people. I don't know. I feel kind of, I don't know. I could be wrong for saying that, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel kind of weird about that video, bro. I feel like they used people in order to, oh, yeah, sounds great. What can I do to help out? But is the purpose behind that video and the people, is it sincere? Is it real? Is it true? I don't know. But Young Life is somebody who experienced it. I mean, I love Young Life. And I had a great encounter when I was in Young Life, man. But and we went to Windy Gap, but also they were very loose about the things that we got. And I got away with some crazy stuff when I was at Young Life, bro, in Windy Gap. Like, and I don't know if you really necessarily want me to bring that kind of stuff here.
Let's keep it PG-13.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So or then we'll just keep it at that. I mean, Young Life, but
it was really like that.
Yeah. What, bro? What?
Wow.
When I tell you, like, bro, what? Like, bro, when we went to Windy Gap, half the East Neck football team went up to Windy Gap with us. And I can tell you right now,
what that means.
Exactly. And it was not hidden. Nothing was hidden. And the counselors didn't care. And I mean, this is strange, this is whatever, but it's the facts, bro. Like, I partook in some stuff that I never have in my ever life partaken in at Windy Gap. Serious.
Wow.
I didn't say, hey, Siri. I said serious.
Wow. That's
I'm just being real, bro. Like I'm a real one. I'm gonna just tell you how it is, bro. But
guys, I just want you guys to know you're getting an inside look at Young Life breaking in
but
right here.
my experience doesn't reflect all Young Life
True,
though.
true. But I'm
So
saying
I'm not knocking Young Life, because if just guys, I don't know how many people are watching, it doesn't really matter. But like, if you're in high school or middle school, yes, seek counsel, but please seek counsel with somebody like where their heart is rightfully, in the right place, and they're not trying to use you. It's, man, to me, so many people can be manipulated, tricked, and told, and be fed what they want to hear. But like, just be wise with where, like, the way that you approach a group, any group, a church, a soccer team, the circle that you hang out with. Because the one thing that I tell people, the people that you associate with, that you're comfortable with hanging out with, you need to view them as mirrors, because that's a direct reflection of who you are. If you're comfortable with being in a group setting, that's you. So if you're with a group of friends that's not doing nothing, hadn't been doing nothing for 5, 10 years, still on the block doing the same thing, and you're wondering why you're stuck at ground zero and you're not moving, why? Because that's exactly who you are. But like, to correlate this into Young Life, like, yeah, bro, like Young Life, it's not the same everywhere, and I'm sure there's great leaders. But just be sure that you're under the right leadership, because you don't want, like, when you're so young, you're vulnerable, man. And people play on that vulnerability, man. And they know, and they'll play on your position. They'll play on where you're growing up. They'll play on your household. They will feed off of where you're at in that current time and place for their gain. The best Young Life, the life of youth that you can get involved in, is the Bible, and let God order and lead your steps. That way, iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? You got to have that. You got to have that back end who's going to pour back into you. But Young Life, for the most part, was beautiful. The worship, the fellowship, the friendship. Man, if you're around people who are like-minded and are really serious, I'm not knocking Young Life. I'm just saying what I saw in high school and middle school, like, yeah, bro, like, it was like that. It was like that.
Wow. That's breaking news. I mean, not in like, I'm not, not to be like sensational about it, but it's something that our community doesn't really discuss, because I've heard things like this about, not just Young Life, but I know there are other communities on the world. But I was really interested in just watching their video, and how their first aspect was obviously focused on that cell phone, right? They immediately locked in on what's plaguing kids these days. It's almost like they don't focus on drugs anymore. They don't focus on alcohol. They don't talk about anything else. It
Birds
seems
and
like
bees, all
yeah,
that.
yeah, birds and the bees, exactly. It just seems like cell phone, digital
Technology,
wrong,
yeah.
digital.
Social media, that's the era, though.
That's what I'm saying. But we're on it, and it's a positive thing. It's a
Yeah.
discussion that's biblical. So I think that approach is a little bit cheap, because everyone's using it. Like, you talk to any person over the age. I mean, honestly, it's starting to hit at like 36, 37. Like, man, kids these days. I'm hearing like 36-year-olds saying kids these days. I'm like, bro, trust me. Compared to our parents, we're still kids. You know what I mean? Like, people in their
For sure.
people looking at you in your 30s, they're like, bro, I wish I would go back to my 30s type. And we're like looking down on these, Gen Z, like, oh man, look at our kids, they're on their phone. But we're on those phones. Like, we have those phones. My mom is on her phone. My mom sends me, and I'm gonna be straight up honest right now. My mom sends me meme after meme.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
I'm like, to the point where I'm just like, bro, it's just memes. Hey, how you doing? Memes. Sometimes it's not even a hey, it's just straight memes. I kind of know I know she's doing well by the memes she sent.
Yeah. But hey, look. But the thing too, bro, is technology and anything, bro. It's like you have to learn to adapt or be left behind. You got to whatever wave it is that's coming. You got to learn how to surf it, bro. Because if not, you get left behind. But this is the sweet spot about you, about me, about your brothers, is we grew up Bro, I remember when the computer came out, bro. I remember when internet came out, bro. Like, so we got to be that soft, sweet spot where we kind of grow and develop with it. So that wave has been like the wave that we grew up riding. It's only grown and grown, and we've gotten to be a part of that, and we get to adapt and develop, and we get to grow with it. So, you know, at the same time.
Let me ask you this. So in the same sense that the church right now is not discussing what's coming, and it looks very obvious what's coming, you can almost make the same argument for the early 2000s when, you know, cell phones started becoming real popular, you know, like kids starting to get cell phones in high school. There were articles left and right about, oh, kids are going to be addicted to cell phones all over the place, like warning signs almost from God. It's like, hey, if the church will just lock in and start, you know, focusing our youth ministry on, hey, prevent, you know, this from happening by, you know, just having these preventative measures, you know, we wouldn't have this many of our, you know, like our Christian youth or, you know, us, we were at that time period addicted to our phones right now. If we would have had that type of like preventative management from the church as well, because that's, you know, that's the body of Christ. And so you can make that same argument today. The church is also not paying attention to AI, not even knowing that that's even more powerful than the little, you know, Samsung flip phones we used to play with that barely had anything on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been playing Snake, bro.
What's your thoughts on something like that? Just to keep it short, because I know we're crunching on time, but just to keep it short. But what's your thoughts on the church currently not paying attention, just like they did to our generation when cell phones started becoming prevalent, but them also not paying attention right now to what's coming up next?
Well, I think a lot of it just has to do with the age. It's an age factor thing, bro. It's an age factor. They're not what so. A lot of pastors are what 40, upper 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, 70s, late. So like they have no idea, and they have no desire to even worry about AI or any of that or the takeover that's coming. Bro, it's just like with warehouse jobs, like the restaurant industry. No one thought that robots were going to be flipping burgers and flipping fries and loading up Amazon truck boxes. No one knows. They're curveballs, but it's all about preparation, bro. You can't, you don't just go into a 5-course meal, 4-course without preparation. You know, marinating the meat overnight, getting it ready. You have to be ahead of the curve. You have to be on your toes. You have to be ahead of the curve. If you're not ahead of the curve, well, then guess what? It's at the end of the day, it is your fault for not listening to the warning signs. God will place everything out there in front of you, but a lot of these churches, they put themselves, look, this is them. Here's God, bro. They got their congregation. A lot of these mega churches, their congregation, if you're a member, you're on W-2, bro. You're turning in your tax information. They're getting that 10% tithe. I'm dead serious, bro. Like, this is coming from information of where I know of situations. Yeah. And so like you're getting in, like, so like, you have these churches, like they have their crowd, and a lot of their crowd, they've already got them, and I'm sorry to say it this way, brainwashed, bro. So it's a generational of people who are basically already born into that church. So they're not worried about their sheep going anywhere because they've already got the head of the house locked in. But it's like people like us who are coming up in a different angle that causes shaking and the disturbances, but this is to wake people up, saying, listen, like it's not that, like, you know, God never intended for religion in the first place. Man created religion. God wants your heart. He wants a relationship. Man's twisted it, created all these different denominations, and they figure out ways that benefits them personally rather than what's actually us going out here evangelizing like the 12 disciples did when they were all following Jesus so closely. And the God's like, oh, my time's coming to an end. I need y'all to go here, 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 and here without me. And I'm going to give you have authority. You have access. You have the ability to heal, do this. So that way people can see miracles performed for them. So they will believe that I am the Messiah.
I love that you mentioned miracles there, but you also mentioned a lot.
I did. I know I'm a rambler, bro.
no,
I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no. It's not even rambling. I'm saying what's coming out is what's meant to come out, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're led by the Spirit. Hey,
Facts.
but I kind of wanted to let's diverse kind of back in a little bit to this young life and this youth ministry focus, because I think you made you made a interesting point there. And from, I think, just before 2019, the stats are that the identification in Christianity was decreasing, right? And it picked up coincidentally from 2019 to up. And it's kind of interesting because technology had a big part to play as churches started using, just more tech. Like if you like at our church, bro, the tech usage is insane, right? So, and I'm pretty sure there's some AI involved somewhere.
For sure.
But I've had some youth pastors confess that they use some AI to get their thoughts organized. But
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
there's
that's what I'm saying. It helps.
Use it. Use it. Don't abuse it.
Abuse it. Amen.
Yeah.
But
amen.
So when we come back from your quiz, from your trivia, from your trivia questions, we're gonna get into kind of these if youth ministries, kind of like Young Life, are organized or they are set up in a way that needs to be a little bit even more advanced than the Young Life video we just saw. So when we come back from the quiz, from the trivia, we're gonna get into that portion of it. All right. So just have your thoughts about that ready as I get you ready for yeah. And we move on to question 3 or 4. Listen, I think they're getting. I said that last time, didn't I?
What'd you say? I did. You were going in and out.
Was I?
Here we go. I feel like I'm back in high school, dude. I don't think I ever passed a test in high school.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. This one's easy. What is the theological concept of sanctification? Super. All right. The forgiveness of sin. B, the final judgment. C, the declaration of righteousness. D, the process of becoming holy.
D sounds right. The process of becoming home and
bam. You didn't even have to argue with yourself, bro. You got it. Yeah. You had it. We're back on the board, baby.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 10, baby. Yeah.
Back on the board, baby. Hey,
Mama, I made it.
It's just one at a time. Here we go. All right. What is the doctrine of the Trinity? The word doctrine was unnecessary there, but
okay, yeah. So that just threw me off. So what is the Trinity? The Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So option A is there are 3 different gods. B, God appears in 3 different forms at different times. C, God exists as 3 separate beings.
That's it.
D, God exists as 3 persons in one essence.
That's it right there, D.
There you go. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? He's back in, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, he is back in. He's 50% right now.
Oh, hey, what? D's get degrees, baby. I need a 70.
D's get degrees.
Let's go.
Right, this one, I don't know. This is a famous term. I mean, it's a popular term. It's used in a lot of songs, but it says, what is Imago Dei? Imago Dei. All right. That's IMAGO and then DEI. Imago Dei. All right. It's A, the image of God in humanity. B, a religious icon. C, a biblical prophecy. Or D, a prayer to the Virgin Mary.
A.
Yeah, all the other answers. There you go. He's a bomb. He's floating, baby. He's floating. All right, there we go. We'll be back and we'll crush those last 4 in the super round. Okay.
Oh, we in there.
Yeah. We'll but anyway, so diving back into kind of our talk. So yeah, are we, from your perspective, do you think youth movements are still necessary in that capacity? Absolutely. like a Young Life? Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, yeah. I apologize. I answered prematurely.
No, good.
I think that the youth needs the word now more than ever. Simply because of I don't want to go too touchy. I don't want to go too sensitive. I don't want to be that guy. But Jesus wouldn't care because of the way that the world's transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
Should I say?
that's a fun word these days.
That's my point. Like, and it's sad because and I'm not even trying to be funny, because if you generational curses, bro. Generational curses is really the root of this. And I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, God created Adam and Eve. That's it. XY chromosomes, like all the other stuff, like, and then you got your preschools, your elementary schools, man, where teachers are able to represent themselves how they want to. And then not only that, but then they encourage, like, if someone who's in kindergarten is like, oh, I want to wear a dress. Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry, but it has to go there. Because they have to go to kindergarten before they go to middle school, before they go to high school. So, and your brain is not even, you don't even know who you are. Even when we're 18 years old and we're technically adults, you don't know who you are. You don't, man. Bro, I tell people, when you're 25, I'm 35 years old. I am just now figuring out who I am as Daniel Costello, as a father of two and a husband. I am just now getting stable in my life. I've always knew who I was up here and as a male figure, but the reality of it is our parents, their parents, they drilled it in our head. 18, you're a grown man. You get out there and work. You go get your own house. That is false. You are setting that, and but yes, it's needed now more than ever. Does it have to come in the form of young life? If that's where you receive it, then to God be the glory. But if you're going there and they're not, and they're playing secular music, they people cuss.
They play that? They play that?
Bro, when I was in Young Life, people were sitting outside smoking, bro, before Young Life.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Bro, look, when I'll tell my story. I don't even care. Let me get it. When I was at Windy Gap, bro, and I was in Young Life,
yeah,
I was smoking Black and Milds. Like, I won't say, anything else.
Right.
But we smoked Black and Milds, and then whatever. But like, bro, yeah, before we have Young Life, like, some of the guys would be smoking cigarettes and Black and Milds and all that before we go in to go and you know what I mean? And no, that's not okay.
Right.
That's not okay. So, like, if you're in a setting, even if it's Young Life or a Christian group, and they're doing things that are not that in your mind, in your heart and spirit don't feel right, the Bible says don't make somebody engage in an activity that they don't feel is right. If they don't feel it's right, then it's not right to them. Appreciate it and respect it. Don't make them conform to your ways. The Bible says don't what is it? Don't conform, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Be transformed.
Like, so no, worship and fellowship comes in the way that fits best for you. That goes with anything. Are you a burger guy? Are you a steak guy? Or you like chicken? Or do you like Chinese food? It's your preference. Whatever you receive, however you receive, and whatever scenario that it may be, that to where you're getting your cup filled, that's where it's needed. You don't need to go into, obviously, Young Life is a 501c, bro. It's corporated. It's a big, they get funded. So the tally marks are there. They're a funded organization. But if that's where you receive, and you're actually in a group and having a leader who's actually leading you and guiding you and helping you with your walk, then by all means, I'm not knocking you. But no, it doesn't have. It's where your cup gets full is where it's needed. But this youth and this younger generation needs it more now. Needs it now more than ever, bro. Absolutely.
Wow.
And I mean, just in the word, bro. Just look what the word talks about. how as we get into end times, it talks about everything that's going on.
Right. People like to ignore that. Now, I'm gonna throw some crazy stats at you right now. So out of all the youth organizations, through the churches and all that, like Young Life and other organizations, there's actually a number, right, about representing the average annual salary for some of the CEOs, and it's between $533,000 and $894,000 to run some of these organizations. Now, obviously, to me and you, we look at something like that and go, "Oh, that's absolutely nuts." But imagine that person that it's worked their way all the way up from being the guy on the street,
being a counselor,
being a counselor, recruiting the kids, now being a manager, recruiting this, and finally becoming a CEO. That's one of those things like, hey, what if the Lord actually led him open that path and blessed him? So I'm not mentioning these numbers to knock that guy's hustle or the blessing that the Lord has provided in his life. But when you look at these type of figures, they kind of shed some light to organizations like this, because at some point it becomes a number driven mission as opposed to a heart driven, where you're actually seeking a heart. Because sometimes even like just a show, for example, or having anything on online, because it's driven by viewers. Like people are more attracted to something that, hey, if there's 500,000 views, it's like, oh, it must be cool, it must be important, it must be something. But that's something that I've mentioned on the show plenty of times. Like, I do not make this show for the algorithm. This is for people. This is for Christian people. It's not for the algorithm, because the algorithm,
I just gave a word on this. That's crazy. Go ahead.
The algorithm is telling you to do all types of stuff. You have to like do things for the algorithm to see your video and then to share with others. And I'm like, well, if something is important enough and the Spirit is speaking and it's true and it's honest and it's connected to the word and it's not, false or whatever, then God's gonna make it get to whoever is supposed to get to. But it's not without work, obviously, because we're reaping, we're sowing, we're harvesting.
Yeah, faith without works is dead. If you don't,
correct.
So
we're putting the work in, but like I said, we're not driven by the algorithm. So I'm not, like if this is viewed by 5, good, that's 5 people that needed to be a part of this. But when we look at these organizations, they get pretty big pretty quickly, just like churches grow, and some churches grow really big, really quick. Next thing you know, they're bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that kind of changes how you operate anything, right? So you think, kind of one of the, last big question we're going to tackle, but you think that's one impacting, it's a two-part question. One is that impacting the ability for these organizations to keep a closer, I would say, kind of control on the product, right? Because essentially is the heart. We're going after the heart of these young people in the word. But having these organizations grow so large, eventually you lose touch of the person all the way at the bottom, and that's just true for any organization. And then second part, you mentioned transitioning, and I knew you were using the play on words there, but this is a huge concern for our young people, like Gen Z and below. I mean, I've heard stories, and I'm not going to name them or how, but I've heard 100% accounts, okay, of like 8th graders being lesbians. Like, it's a real thing.
I can tell you this. So my
two-part question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, just to run off yours real quick. So my dad's wife, so I guess my stepmom in a way. That's a whole. Anyways, she was a teacher at Crestdale in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
She left because she's elementary school, bro, having kids coming up there identifying as non-binary witches.
Witches?
Yeah, bro. and like non-binary, like in elementary school. And then like it kept progressing with more and more. It like, because she did theater. And like, I'm not saying it's just the theater people, so don't take that and run my words with it anyway.
He's about to be canceled by the theaters.
Yeah, whatever. But like, yeah, so she left. She's like, I can't handle it, man. I can't handle it. Like, it's sad. But yes, bro. At the end of the day, like, I already knew when you said, "Oh, I got the numbers." I said, "I already knew where this was going." Bro, like, did God elevate them and put them in a path? Did God
Yes.
look? I was about to put this. I pulled this up and I was going to read this. It says, "Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all things ask or think according to the power that works in us." Ephesians 3:20. God wants us to enjoy the better and the greater things on this earth. He wants us. So if you rightfully, made your way up into an exec position, to God be the glory. Not going to knock you, but your salary is $540,000 a year a necessity to run an organization that you're trying to win hearts? No, but now, once you start seeing that money, if you change with the money, I'm gonna go get me a house, nice cars, vacation homes. You've got to maintain that position. So then, by default, God may have put you in a position, but do you honor that position and that original walk that you had with Him, or do you become worldly instead of wordly? You start conforming back to the way of the world, because a lot of these people probably never had that kind of money or tasted that kind of money. I mean, maybe they did, but if they didn't, then how do they know how to handle it and budget? So for them to maintain their lifestyle and then that they have going on, they have to maintain those numbers of recruits coming in. So they kind of end up like a chameleon. They change with their environment, and they have to end up changing their ways in order to maintain their position and status, but their lifestyle. That's why it's always to walk with humility and humble yourself. Live below your means. Do not live in a way that makes you have to act outside of the way God intended everything for you to be, to have out for you. Don't turn your blessings into, a disgraceful situation. But yeah, man, I feel like it does change, and it's unfortunate. I feel the mindset changes because they want to maintain their position and status. They've got to keep the numbers coming in, so that way they keep in their funds, be able to uphold their salaries. I do.
I think that's a fantastic way to put it. And I just like to add to that, because I think about when things become more corporate, and I work in corporate. I'm a business analyst for global payments. Okay. Let's like I work corporate, right? It's corporate structure. I understand what that means. And the more I'm seeing, the church become kind of corporatized in a way. And when I see organizations like this, like that message from Young Life, that's a corporate message. Every word in that lady's statement was scripted, was written, was analyzed, was like, okay, don't put this word in here, use this word, don't use this child, use this child, make sure you include this type of child. Those are corporate structures. Those aren't how real people operate in the ministry. You know what I mean? In the ministry, it's transparent, right? Because it's like we're working for the Lord. It's 100% transparent. Like, you should be able to see exactly what's going on. This is what we're showing you, not some real super polished video. So as more things become extremely corporatized, you do kind of lose that control or that kind of sense of connection with the initial reason you were doing the ministry for, which in this case is the children. And I just think about, your example of how, the things that you saw with a Young Life at your early age, and what that could be for kids these days is, scary. You know what I mean? So they might not be outside, smoking black and whites, which is super easy to fix, by the way. It's like, okay, no, we're smoking black and whites, problem solved. But I've noticed it too, even in our ministry. Like, I walk in at church to volunteer on Sunday, and I'm literally in the church. I'm like, this is some of the kids just waiting for us to get started. I mean, they're locked in, like swipe. They can't help the swipe thing. You just cannot help it. Even at church, doesn't matter where you're at. Like the youth pastor would be talking, and I see like there's at least 4 or 5 kids like swiping, like not even hearing anything. That's
Yeah.
that's what blows me away. Like they
Yeah.
can't actually hear the words; they're just seeing letters and then a picture, and then they're just swiping. I'm like, okay, so how do you even get close enough, as you know, when your corporation becomes so big, to actually get to that problem that they indicated in their video? From the first
Yeah.
picture was somebody using a cell phone. So
Yep.
that's an interesting it's an interesting topic. It's a debate. I mean, a lot of people go back and forth. There's different angles,
Yeah.
but you, my friend, have to finish out trivia, Bible
Let's do it.
trivia, so we can see what kind of score you end up with. And I think last time we ended, you were on a roll. You were
I think I'm 4 for
absolutely
4 right now.
you were absolutely crushing it. And I told you, man, you were down on yourself early, but I told you.
I was.
This happens.
You came with the heat, man.
It happens. All right, here we go.
Oh, let's get it.
All right, let's see. Where's our music at? It's bugging. All right. What is the concept of common grace in theology? And you're lucky because usually when we get a full chat room, if they answer first, they get the point.
Well, they need to answer.
What is the concept of common grace in theology? Okay. A, grace available only to believers. B, a specific prayer said before meals. C, the grace received during communion. D, God's blessing given to all people regardless of faith.
That is D. God's grace abounds.
Say less. Correct. Next. All right, he's crushing it now. He's on a roll, guys. He's on a roll. All right, we think he's gonna finish strong here. Here we go. What does soteriology study? What does soteriology study? I can't help you with this one, big dog.
You can't even say it.
A, biblical interpretation. B, end times. C, church leadership. D, salvation.
Let's go with salvation.
Oh, that boy's on a roll. Hey, that boy's doing his thing. Here we go. All right, 2 more. What is covenant theology? A system of dispensation throughout biblical history. B, the theological basis for church governance. C, a framework viewing God's interactions with human through covenant. D, the study of marriage in the Bible.
Because marriage is a covenant, bro. But I'm gonna go with D, but it's probably C.
Oh, bro, you gotta
You heard me. You heard me though.
First answer, man. Come on. All right, here we go. 9. What is the doctrine of original sin? A, the idea of that all sins are unique. B, the belief that sin originated with Satan. C, the concept that some sins are worse than others. D, the state of sin returning from Adam and Eve's disobedience.
Yeah, D. It has to be D.
Ooh.
That's where it started. It started in Garden Eden. But see, what did I get? Did I get a degree?
No, here we go. Last one. What is the theological term for God's attribute of being all powerful? Oh, this is good. A, omnibenevolence. B, omnipotence. C, omniscient. Or D, omnipresent. Omniscient. Okay.
What was B?
Strength is omnipotence, bro.
Omnipotence. Omnipotent. Yeah.
I just said it wrong. Ooh, not bad. Listen. It's above a 50. I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, 6 out of 10. Daniel, you're right. You're right at the cusp. You're right at the cusp. You're above average. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'll take
You're
it.
above average because the average has been nasty. The average has been nasty. You're above average,
dude. Okay. In my defense, I should have had a 7. I said it should have been C, but I chose D.
I agree. The Lord's seen it, but don't worry. This will not be posted at the church. So
perfect.
You are. Hey, listen, I told you we are gonna have fun, man. But that's that's kind of locked in Christian, man. So we deep
I've
dive.
enjoyed this, dude.
We talked. You had the trivia that'll worry about. We watched some crazy videos. But ultimately, we just want to be that medium for young Christians, new Christians, doesn't matter the age, to kind of see that, the world is reflected. Like, Daniel and I, we look different, but look at us. We're talking about the word. We're here and we're paying attention to the things that are coming, and we just want to be that in between. So that's Locked In Christian. So make sure if you haven't subscribed or whatever, join to figure out when we're on. We're gonna start 8:30s now, by the way. 8:30s. Surprise tonight. So if you're not here, it's a surprise. So somebody's gonna show up at 9:30 right now, and they're gonna be like, "What the show's ending?" Anyway, Daniel, Carolina native. Any last words, man? You can plug the ministries, wherever you got going on. Definitely plug into TikTok, because I know we're gonna be doing more on TikTok.
Yeah, man. I got my TikTok, man. It's Sowing Seeds, sowing with the G, Seeds 247. So it's Sowing Seeds 24/7.
Sowing with the G, like SOWING.
Yep, Seeds 247.
Seeds 247. That's it.
And that's the only platform I have, bro. As far as the ministry goes, no, man. I really love, bro. I love seeing what you're doing, man. Just basically growing up with you, and seeing you and from high school to where you are now, man, and being a husband and father, and having an additional child, on the way. I really want to commend you on everything you're doing, man, and being a vessel and a disciple for not only your generation, but the younger generation, and for the older generation, man, and for the millions of people that potentially, can see what you're doing. And I just pray that God continues to lead you, guide you, and orders your steps, and continues to keep that hedge of protection around your family, bro. And keep up the amazing work for the kingdom, man. I love you. I've always loved you, and you bring joy to my heart, man, seeing you going this route, then the route that you were set up for, bro. From Castle Hood to building a castle, man.
Hey, this man knows where I'm from.
like to building your kingdom, bro. But look at the full circle moment, bro.
Right.
Like, I was drinking 40s in Castle Hood, bro, in high school. Like for real, from the Red Sea, you know what I mean, from behind us.
I know it.
But just think about it, bro. Like, from Castle Hood to building your kingdom, bro. Like, look what God's doing, bro. And I love seeing that in you, man. And God's gonna continue to elevate you, bro. And I love what you're doing, bro. Keep up the great work for the kingdom, man.
Likewise, bro. We certainly appreciate you taking time out of the sleep that you could be getting.
Yeah, I'd be dreaming by now.
Hopefully you get the catch right back on it. But we appreciate you being on Locked In Christian.
Absolutely.
And listen, we had a great time. Hopefully you're gonna be back on there, and
I'll be back, bro. I'll plug in. I'll plug with you. You let me know I'm on. Yep, I'm on.
Ooh, and listen, there you have it. Daniel Costello, Frenchie Riff, Locked In Christian. Guys, we'll see you guys next Friday, same time, 8:30, right here. Don't forget to check out edifymusic.com. And June 27th, my Matati album comes out. So excited for you guys to hear it. Make sure you tune in for that. Deuces.